Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. It's weather in 5 days and 5 minutes as we move into the afternoon. A very warm afternoon. Temperatures have already climbed up into the 80s in many places. The warm front has pushed well to the north. So, front and center going ahead for the rest of today and into tonight will be the risk for severe weather. We have a cold front coming through, and it's a bit of a different type of front in that it's oriented from the uh, east northeast to west southwest. So it's actually coming in. Usually these fronts tend to come in more north south in orientation and then they move eastward. This one is dropping down southeastward from upstate New York. And what that does is that it actually can enhance the severe weather risk in coastal areas as well as inland areas because it keeps the sea breeze at bay. You don't get any kind of marine layer to get involved. It's also timing out where the greatest risk is going to be across northeast Pennsylvania and then running northeastward into central New England. That's where the Storm Prediction Center has enhanced risk. Slight risk extends south to the Connecticut shore, touching New York City, then going west across New Jersey, mainly north of Route 78, and then continuing west southwestward across Pennsylvania. You get into south central Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, and into Maryland. You're kind of on the edge of marginal risk to just general thunderstorm activity of the non severe kind. Now, I want to take a look at the tornado probability. That is going to be concentrated mainly where the enhanced risk is, and the Storm Prediction Center uh, giving a 5% chance of that there could be a tornado. And what that percentage means is there's a if you take points, any point, 25-mile radius around that point, there's a 5% chance in that little zone that there could be a tornado. The number is low in one way, but it's also not as low as it sounds. Meanwhile, as far as damaging winds are concerned with these thunderstorms, again, in the enhanced risk, we're looking at a 30% chance. That's pretty high, a 30% chance in that large area of enhanced risk. And then it starts to drop off to 15% in the area of slight risk and 5% for the marginal risk and little risk when you get down, say, into southern New Jersey, southern Pennsylvania, down into Maryland and Virginia. That's not to say that there couldn't be an isolated cell that would flare up, but the chances are that the strongest cells are going to be up further to the north. This is what it looks like on the Storm Prediction Center's maps today in terms of the overall risk. We also have some big risk for thunderstorms, enhanced risk covering much of central Texas. And also you see the marginal risk that goes either side, slight risk also up in the Rockies. And the other thing we're watching too is the possibility that we could see a subtropical depression or a subtropical storm develop off the Florida coast. The Hurricane Center is monitoring this and continues to monitor it. An 80% probability that this thing is going to develop in the next 48 hours. So we're going to be watching that closely. As far as that system is concerned, by the way, is disorganized clouds and showers are what we're seeing off the southeast Florida coast. Are getting heavy rains in parts of southeast Florida, but most of the activity with this is out offshore. Meanwhile, with that warm sector moving up into the northeast, we're setting the table up for the potential for showers and thunderstorms. Although when you look at the radar as of 1 o'clock this afternoon, there really isn't very much going on. Here's your warm front that this morning was just about to New York City, has now flown all the way up into southern New England, and you really have some very juicy air here to play with. Temperatures as of 1 o'clock Eastern time in the upper 70s and lower 80s. We've got dew points that are running in the 60s. That's for this time of year to get dew points up into the low and even a few middle 60s. That's pretty impressive. So this weather front is going to have something to work with. So let's take you through the next 5 days. The thunderstorm activity, there will be a line of storms that forms in upstate New York. In the areas that have lower risk or almost no risk, you're going to watch for the possibility that some renegade scattered cells develop very late this afternoon into this evening. But as you notice, once we get past, say, 7 or 8 o'clock, that line is past its peak and it basically falls apart as it moves southeastward, just some residual showers coming in during the early morning hours. I think as far as the weekend is concerned, Saturday will be a little bit better than Sunday. We'll have clouds and some sun. This cold front's going to stall out to the south. You can see off the Florida coast, the low that's there, that may be a subtropical depression or a tropical storm. We have another system that's moving in from the west, and a bit of an onshore flow develops Saturday. So temperatures tomorrow are going to be noticeably cooler than today, probably no higher than the mid 60s to low 70s. And then Sunday will probably be just in the 60s and even in the 50s along the coast because it'll be a southeast flow that's going to try to set up. And then, of course, moving into Monday, a little bit tricky here with the forecast. The latest GFS model actually brings that subtropical system close to the North Carolina coast. We've got this other system swinging in from the west. It's looking right now as if Monday may not be too bad, and that we'll have to wait until Monday night and Tuesday to get into some fairly solid rain here. And also, I've been mentioning the fact that coastal flooding could be a big issue here Tuesday into Wednesday because of the big high that's up to the north. You see it sitting here in New Brunswick and in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and you've got easterly winds from New Jersey north and east up into New England. And we're going to probably take much of next week before we get this weather system out of the way. But first things first, of course, will be the threat for severe weather later today. So just bear that in mind. And then we'll have all the latest on what is going on this evening on the Joe and Joe Weather Show on my YouTube channel, Joe Cioffi, which is live at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Have a great day, everybody.